This is a Pod Dealers Network podcast.
What is TWS podcast, episode, whatever, who cares at this point?
Bar. The rants of the vindicated. It's my podcast and I do what I want to.
People, listen.
Word, is it still live?
It's not working for me, Rich. We're going to keep going.
I know I changed my voice at work.
Bars on the radio.
What is TWS podcast?
Ready.
I feel like the end is
Staring at my watch and I'm feeling so new school. Suicide attempts, how many tries to take?
They ain't ready.
Tryna double up, yeah. 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies, I just run it up. Never let a hard time humble us.
Double up. I ain't telling no lies, I just... I ain't telling no lies. 5, 4, 3, 2. That's time I got to you. That money, my dreams come true. My life in diamonds. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Oh, you have no idea how long I've been waiting to press that button, or how many hours I spent like fine tuning the echo and the reverb to get it just perfect, just for that. That's how much I love y'all. That's how much work I put in to make sure this shit is just right for y'all. Anyway, welcome to another episode of the What is TWS podcast. As always, I'm your boy J. Flan, representing the White Pants Society, and I must start by thanking you first and foremost for taking whatever time out of your day to come chill, sit with me, listen to these random ramblings, whatever it is we talk about. But you could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, and I do greatly, greatly appreciate that. Man, yeah, I don't know what this episode is going to be. I got like some ideas swirling. I got some bullet points. I didn't script this one out like I sometimes do. I have some much more like well-prepared content coming. I have more episodes of the Plugs I Met series, in the works. I got 1 already recorded and 2 scheduled for next week. So those are going to be coming. I'm going to be sprinkling them in, not trying to do them back to back, but I definitely want to like just shed some light. Like I just want to be the change that I want to see. Like I want to see. I don't know. I just get the amount of negativity and the amount of focus we put on things that we don't like just irks me to the point where I just be pissed off all the time. So rather than just being pissed off all the time, like, man, I know some dope people. I've been around some dope people. I've had a chance to, benefit from the kindness of some dope people. So let me like talk about them and let me put a spotlight on them and, and just like be that change. Like just, if I'm tired of hearing about bullshit, like let me be anti-bullshit. Let me be the opposite of bullshit for a little bit. So I don't know. That's coming. I don't know why I felt the need to open the episode with that. Let's see. Normally there's a rhyme or reason to the track I open up the show with. I don't know. I think I was trying to do something like as black as possible. In the last episode, in the Plugs I Met part 1 with Raw Assassin, like a couple things happened that like, I don't know, they struck a chord with me. One, he asked me if he could curse on the show. And I was like, man, what am I doing that's like putting off the you can't curse on my show vibes? But anyway, that was like red flag number 1. And then number 2, and I'm not even sure if I kept this in the episode. I think it's in there. Well, this might have been a conversation we had like offline in between recordings because I did his show like right after we recorded that one. But I mentioned something to him. We were talking about hip hop, and he was, saying like he was starting to see that, I might know a little something about hip hop. And I was like, oh man, you just getting it. He was like, yeah, I thought you was like a Backstreet Boys or something type. I was like, man, again, it was like, what am I doing that's like putting off this vibe that you can't cuss on my show. I'm a Backstreet Boys listening type dude. Like, I don't know. We might discuss it later on in the episode. It's on my list. We'll see if we get there. But I decided to play some Nipsey Hussle because I was like, what's the blackest shit I could play right now? That like I am actually listening to. I'm reading the book, The Marathon Don't Stop. And that really is what like made me want to go seek out dude's music. And that's like my favorite song off that Victory Lap album, the Double Up Train. That shit is on repeat. I drive to that. I've talked to like people who make it seem like they can't drive to music that's not like aggressive or upbeat or damn near angry. Like they gotta like stop driving like that. Like that's the problem. Like just chill the fuck out. Leave early so that you don't have to be in that mode to get wherever it is you're trying to get. Put on some, like that's still like gangster rap, I guess. Like you put on some Nipsey Hussle, put on some Double Up, and just fucking vibe for a minute while you driving. Not like just be in gladiator war mode or whatever it is you got to do. Like that may be the problem. Your musical choices. Like chill. Anyway, moving on. Let's get into the episode. I had Elise, Chef Elise this weekend. So let's start with the Chef Elise report.
I'm Peppy.
Yes, sir, I am. Yeah, man, we had our normal visit, and it was a very, very normal visit. A couple things, as always, happened that may be noteworthy. I don't know. She really has like developed a habit of, in certain situations, I think when she's trying to be like extra cute, or if she wants to show like affection toward dad, like she starts calling me her old man. And then I don't know where it came from. It was never anything that like I gave to her. It's like, man, you should call me your old man. I don't know if she's seen it in a movie. I've never been around a person that she's around. I don't know that her mother ever uses that terminology about her dad, or I don't know where she gets it from, but she kind of knows. Like she doesn't say it all the time. So it's clear that she knows like it's situational and it's got a purpose. Like I do it when I'm trying to get on dad's good side, and I have no idea where she got it from. I think we were getting out the car after leaving the grocery store, and I'm telling her, wait for me because I gotta, grab the bag so we can take everything in the house. And she's like, oh, I wouldn't go anywhere without my old man. And I was just like, and every time it like warms my heart. I love it. Like I think I told you guys, like I always wanted to be like dad is generic to me. I always like had an idea in my head, especially if I had a boy, of like him calling me Pop. Like I feel like Pop is more like dad is the dude responsible for your existence or whatever. Like, like dad is to me is a step or two above like sperm donor. Like it's like sperm donor, father, and then dad. Like dad does make it seem like you involved and you're there, but it's like the basic dad. Like once you get to like Pop or something like that, to me that signifies a relationship between you and the child. So old man is on that list. Like I wanted to be Pop, but she has a grandfather. Her grandfather wants to be Pop. So I'm like, I don't know, gotta let him have that, seniority, whatever. But she just came up with this old man thing, and she just drops it every once in a while, and it definitely feels like she does it when she's trying to like, warm up to dad. Like, oh yeah, I wouldn't go anywhere without my old man. Or if I like order a dessert for the two of us, she lets me know. I'll wait for you to, before I eat the dessert or whatever, because I wouldn't eat the dessert without my old man. Like, this little girl, I don't know where she gets this stuff from. But then I discovered some of like, I hate when this happens. And parents, maybe you can like chime in, not now, of course, but in the comments somewhere, like, do you have these situations where you're like, your child does something and you suspicious of it in the moment, but you can't like prove it or figure out what it is that they did. So you kind of like let it pass, and then you figure it out like weeks later. But now it feels inappropriate to just be angry about it. Like maybe if she was a teenager, you could do that because she would understand like the passage of time. Like she would understand like you're not getting in trouble now for something you did now. You get in trouble now for something you did 2 weeks ago. And I'm angry all over again. But that's what happened. Like, so last week, last visit, when I was telling you how horrible a house guest she is, I think I left out a lot of stuff. Like I was just so upset in the moment because she had just gone home before I recorded it. So yeah, I hadn't even had a chance to gather my thoughts on how shitty a house guest she is. But so again, it's like Saturday night. When we had our last visit, she wanted to do like she wanted to put the tent on her bed. Like she wanted me to set up the tent, but she wanted it on her bed. She wanted to camp in her room, but on her bed. And like I was at that point, I was just like, if this is what will make you go to sleep, or this is what will put you in one place, and you will stop moving around, you'll stop fucking with stuff for enough time for me to be able to relax, I would do this, you know. And like and putting the tent together, especially on top of her bed, like it was a whole thing, but I got it done. I got the tent, I got it like on her bed in a way that I wasn't afraid that she was gonna fall off or something like that. And then, you know, she gathered up stuff in the tent and toys and stuff and books. She was gonna have a whole like slumber party with her stuffed animals, and it was cute, whatever. I didn't really care. I was just like, as long as you just quiet, just all that matters in life right now. And we got that accomplished. So I got that done. I was tired, went downstairs. I'm laying down. I hate that. Like, I don't like when I'm tired, I don't actually want to go to sleep. I just want to not be active. Like, I just want to lay down and just relax. Like, going to sleep, to me, my next waking thought is going to be being back in dad mode. And I don't want to be right back in dad mode. It's like I'm going to close my eyes, and when I open them again, it's back to work. So it's like I want a couple of hours or an hour or whatever, how much time I can get of just not having anything to do, but not being asleep. So I go down, I lay down, and I'm chilling. Got the TV on. I'm not even really paying that attention. I'm just decompressing. And then like an hour or so goes by. I'm like, man, good deal. You know, I ain't feel like doing it, but I did it. And it seemed to work out. And then I hear her calling me. And normally she calls me in the middle of the night because she's hungry. She's always doing the, Dad, I'm hungry. I'm just like, it's 2:00 in the morning. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, tell somebody who cares. Like, I stop. Don't do that. Don't call me at 2:00 in the morning because you're hungry. Because, you know, that just pisses me off. I came upstairs for that. Like, I'm not doing anything about that. Like, just drink some water or something. I don't know what to tell you, but ain't no food being gathered at 2 a.m. So just relax on that. So she called me, and that's what I'm figuring it was. So I let it go. You know, I do the dad thing where you know your children's like cries or their, you know, when they call, you know the sound of their voice, whether it's, you know, I want something or I need something or DEFCON 5 or whatever it is. So it didn't sound serious. And then she called me again. And then it just got annoying. So I finally went up there. And it turns out what had happened was she got in her little tent with all her shit. And she had a water bottle in there. So she don't have to ask me for water in the middle of the night. And according to her, somehow the water bottle, like I had the water bottle and I was drinking it and I put it away. And I don't know what happened. Like, you know how kids, when they start a story like that, like, I don't know what happened, but it just started spilling and it spilled everywhere. And so it's like now, you know, the tent's wet, sleeping bag's wet, you know, her pajamas are wet. Like now it's a whole situation. I have to evaluate, you know, what's wet and needs to be dried off or cleaned or whatever. Are her pajamas wet? Like, what can be salvaged? Do I have to put new sheets on the bed? Did the bed get wet? Like, it's just the whole thing in the middle of the night when I thought I was in decompress mode. And in my mind, I'm like, it didn't just happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't just happen. Like, water bottles just don't spill. But I looked at the water bottle, and it just, for whatever reason, looked like the way it was designed, like there was a hole in the top, and I could clearly see, like, if you laid that on its side, you know, water was going to come out. And at the time, like, it was like, I'm looking at it like, there's no way I bought a water bottle that, like, just had this clear design flaw or something. I don't know if there's a hole for a straw. Like, what was the point of the hole in a water bottle? I'm just like, what the hell? This doesn't make sense. But, you know, it's looking like, you know, it's a bad water bottle. And maybe I gave her a bad water bottle. It spilled. I brought this on myself. Like, so I'm feeling bad for her because she's like, she's upset that like all her stuff is wet, you know, and it messed up her slumber party. But yeah, I mean, she was looking forward to her slumber party in her tent, and now she doesn't have that anymore. You could see she was like super sad. She has another tent, and I could see what she really was trying to get me to do was to put the other tent up, and that wasn't happening. I was just like, hey, you know, it sucks to be you. Bad things happen to good people. You know, life is unfair. This is a lesson. You know, take it and move on with your life. But I'm not putting another tent up. But I left there like feeling bad for her. Like, oh man, why did I buy a water bottle like that? If I had used her water bottle from school instead of I felt like I had cut a corner somewhere and like given her this subpar container, and that led to, the end of her slumber party. Like, you got to know she's 7 and you can't give her certain things because, whatever. I feel like it was like almost a little bit my fault. And then I feel bad that she missed out on what she wanted to do. And I think that even bled over into the next morning, like making sure she had a breakfast that she wanted. And we went and got boba tea on the way, to take her home, that kind of stuff. Like, 'cause I feel bad for her. And so this week I'm up here getting the room ready, for her to come back. And I'm in the bathroom and I see like this, oddly shaped piece of plastic. Like it's a piece of rubbery plastic. Looks like it's purposefully shaped to do something. But it's just random. Like I have no idea what it could have possibly come from. And then just out the blue, the dots connect in my mind. This is the piece that's missing from the water bottle that plugs that hole for whatever. It's like a washer, like a rubber washer or something. It's in there for something. But she pulled it out. She took apart this water bottle, and that's why it just spilled on her in the middle of the night. So she fucked up her own slumber party and then tried to play the victim. I don't know what happened when I got up there. And now I'm like super pissed. I'm pissed, 1, because she took the water bottle apart. I'm pissed, 2, because she took it apart, she fucked up her thing, which fucked up my decompression and fucked up her slumber party. And I'm pissed, 3, that she knew what she did. She played it, but she played it so well that now it's 2 weeks later and I can't even really be mad. Like, what am I going to do? I can't just go pick her up from school and be like, remember that shit from 2 weeks ago when you took the thing out of the water? But yeah, I felt like the moment it passed and I couldn't even take advantage of it. I couldn't even get the evil out for it. Like, I just got to be mad and just like eat this one. And I think I was more mad at that. I was more mad that I couldn't be mad because I felt bad for her. I felt like, I felt like she missed out on her little slumber party with the things. And it was all her fucking fault. So I made sure she knew that I found a little piece of plastic and that I understood that that's why the water bottle spilled. But I feel like there was a moment for a punishment that she deserved that she didn't get because too much time had passed and it just wouldn't have made sense. I don't know. That's how I feel. Maybe how do other parents, how do you guys handle things like that with a child her age? We're talking 7 years old, but when like whatever it is that they did that was wrong, you don't discover until weeks after they did it. Like how can you go back and like can you retroactively punish for something they did? I don't know. Whatever. That's just the question. But that's pretty much my Chef Elise report. She'll be involved in the rest of the episode, but it is what it is.
I'm Peppy.
Yes, sir, I am. Reluctantly sometimes. Nah, I love my little girl. Always. Anyway, man, all right, real quick before I get into the meat and potatoes of the episode, I do want to talk about this. I have realized, like every once in a while, something happens that lets me know, that I'm an addict. Like that I have an addictive personality or whatever. Like I'm predisposed to certain shit. I have realized that I have a serious fucking problem with Rice Krispie treats, and it's bad. Like it's really, really bad. So we went grocery shopping when I picked up Chef Elise, and first off, adulting 101. If you're a young person and you're listening to this is one of the most crucial rules or pieces of advice I can give you for your adult life. When doing any shopping of any kind, make a list. Make a fucking list. I know people tell you don't go grocery shopping when you're hungry, whatever. I don't really care. Make a list. Make a list. Know what you're going in there to get. Cross the items off as you get them and leave when you have completed that list. You go in the grocery store aimlessly, like with some weird, vague idea of what you're supposed to get. You're going to get a lot of shit that you didn't need, and you always going to forget to get the thing that you really came in there to get. So I'm in the grocery store without a list, and my daughter. I know she got 3 jobs when we go to the grocery store. She has to pick out a fruit. I think we had kumquats this week. Pause if Raw's listening, whatever. Kumquats. She has to pick out a juice, and she has to pick out cereal. So we did that. We do the rest of our shopping, getting things. And then as always, when I don't have a list, like I spend a little extra time in the store, like trying to let my memory jog or something to make sure I don't leave without the thing that I know was like high on my list to get before I came in there. I just didn't write it down. And so I'm just wandering, and I come across, because I'm looking for snacks for her too, because she's always fucking hungry. I don't know where she puts it. And so we in like the snack aisle, and I decided I want a snack, and I see the Rice Krispie treats. So, I tell my daughter, go get me the value size box of Rice Krispie treats. Sophie Elise goes to get them. And while she's getting them, I see, oh shit, they got a 40 count. Like, nah, I put that back. We getting the 40 count. And that should have been the sign that it was already going the wrong way. But I get this 40 count of Rice Krispie treats home. First off, I absolutely didn't get like one of the most important things on the list, or that should have been on the list that I went to the store for. And I didn't realize that until I got home. But now I have this 40 count of Rice Krispie treats that was definitely not on any sort of list that I had, but I got them now because I was doing random shit. And then I noticed, so I had one, and then I wanted another, and then it was like I was crushing these Rice Krispie treats so hard, I knew the only thing that was stopping me from really going as hard as I wanted to go was that my daughter was there, and I felt like anytime I couldn't let her see me get a Rice Krispie treat and I don't give her one. And so, at a certain point, it's like, I can't, you can't have no more Rice Krispie treats, which means I can't have no more in front of you. And so now I'm in like addict mode. Like I'm either sneaking Rice Krispie treats, I'm trying to like rush her to bed or someplace else, so I can eat Rice Krispie treat in peace. I'm looking at the amount of wrappers that's like in my bed, because I would like grab 3 or 4 and just go lay down. And they just seem to like go fast, and then I want like 3 or 4 more. I don't know how many I got left of the 40 count, and it's only Sunday, but I was going super hard on these Rice Krispie treats, and it's starting to I don't know what it's doing to my insides. Like that's all that marshmallow and like carbohydrate and everything. Like I'm not a diet or health conscious person, but I do feel like consuming large quantities of marshmallow fluff is like constipation waiting to happen. So I'll let y'all know, or I won't. You can let me know if you don't want to hear about it, but I just had to share that with somebody. Like when I tell you that I'm an addict and like I don't do anything anymore, it's because I see this in myself and like what I do. If I like something, if I like something and a little bit is good, well, I want to know how all of it. Like give me all of it. Give me the biggest box of Rice Krispie treats you got, and let's see how many I can eat in a day. That's where we are. But beyond that, so getting back to what I talked about at the beginning, So I've had this thing. I know I've talked on the show about, people calling me the whitest black person that they know. My middle name is White. One of my favorite jokes to do. You will never guess my middle name is really White. Anyway, I got an Irish last name. I was talking to a friend earlier this week about like elementary school and like being a kid, and like I grew up watching Saved by the Bell and trying to dress like Zach Morris, and just a lot of things that I don't know, didn't bode well for me. And I think I talked like even in the communities and stuff that I like circle in now, I can always feel like slightly of an outsider. Like I'm just not like around black people. I feel like I'm not 100% black, and then around like my white friends, like I'm the black guy. Like it's a weird space to be in. And I'm not mixed. Like I'm black. I'm blackity black. I'm blackity black because I'm black, y'all. I'm all that. But I definitely feel it. And then I had my man come on the show, and he's like asking me if he can curse. I don't even know why I associate the cursing with like the blackness, but it feels like that's where it comes from. Like he's like I'm ultra conservative. Like people think I'm ultra conservative or something like that, or and conservativeness is normally associated with white folks. The whole Backstreet Boys thing, like, and I'm a hip hop dude, like hip hop to the heart, you know, used to rap, everything. But if I tell people that, like, it always comes to them, always comes as a shock. And I think I've tried to do things throughout my life that maybe weren't even, I don't know. I don't want to say they weren't me, but at times where I didn't know who I was, and I was like forming that identity, I was forming it around things that I thought, you know, would make me more of who I wanted to be, which I guess was black. It was because, you know, the tattoos and things that I have, like, I don't know. It's just crazy to me. And it's like this week, as I'm going through this whole like existential thing about my blackness and what is it about my version of blackness that doesn't resonate with other people. Other people don't see it or whatever. I get a email from my property management company, and they basically telling us, you know, hey, there have been some lease violations. We just need to let people know that these activities are considered violations of your lease, could, you know, result in eviction, blah, blah, blah. And one of the things they had on there was, you know, somebody's kids have been running around, you know, the hallways of the apartment complex, knocking on, doing basically the, you know, whatever you call that, when you knock on people's doors and run away, basically. And somebody apparently complained about it, and, you know, so they had to send an email to let everybody know that, you know, if these are your kids, you know, that's a violation of your lease. You could be evicted. And so, you know, this is not I not work, but I live in a complex, very small complex, only about 70 something units. And it's a work life like complex. Like most of these apartments were designed to have offices, or they sit above, you know, like commercial space, like storefronts. So your storefront is below you, and then your apartment is above, but it's all connected. So it's that kind of a neighborhood. There are not a lot of kids around here. My daughter is, you know, fairly alone, which is one of the issues I have. I do need to find a space where there are more kids, but there's not a lot of kids over here when my daughter's here. So people who have kids stand out. And so my daughter don't go nowhere without me. She don't leave the apartment without me. She's 7. So I know it's not her. The kids are other kids I know, and they drive me fucking crazy. I think I've complained about them on this show because they noisy. I know they running up and down the halls screaming, and I can hear them like screaming from inside the apartment. And they're the kids across the hall from me. And of course, fucking black. It's not a lot of black people in this building. Somehow we live across the hall from each other, and they got kids, and they gotta be like, it's just, man, I was so mad again. Like, why did it have to be us? And why I'm like, I don't know. It could be other kids in this complex, but I know them kids cross the hall bad as shit, and it pisses me off every time that they just running up and down the hallways, doing whatever. I don't think they've ever knocked on my door, but I hear them out there. I feel super old too. Like I feel like an old man sitting in his apartment, like, listen to them motherfucking kids. I hear him out there, like, go to sleep, man. You know, this is a very calm and peaceful neighborhood. What do you motherfuckers do? But somebody come look at this. Somebody come please look at these noisy ass kids. Like, that's how I feel sitting in here with these motherfuckers running up and down the hall. And I'm so mad. Like, why does it have to be us? Why did it have to? Why? I was just mad. And it was just, all of it is just like fucking with my blackness. I had a conversation with, you know, one of my homies today about that, the Tyler, it's not Tyler, I don't want to get the man's name fucked up, but the black man in Memphis that got beat to death by the black officers. And, you know, he was asking me, this is one of my white friends, and he's asking me, you know, like, you can't tell me, you know, tell me why the lawyer is trying to play the race card in this one. And I'm like, because it's irregardless is not a word, I fucked that up. It's regardless of the color of the officers. Like, what this is showing is something is systemic. It don't matter what the color of the officers is. Something in the way policing is handled in this country has made it possible or plausible for officers to do these things to people, and they seem to be people of color. It's like black people, white people get beat up by the police too. I'm like, I don't not believe. I mean, I'm sure that does happen. But what we're looking at right now is a black man that got beat to death by the police. And this is not an isolated incident. Like if you want to start protesting all the white people to get beat up by police, I'll be right there with you. You know, we can do that. But don't turn it into black man gets beat up by police. Like somehow it's not a problem because white people get beat up by police as well. Like it's not the point. Like it's a problem both sides. But when your shit happens, make sure you bring it up so we can all, you know, come to the march with you. But don't act like this is not a problem over here. But again, so now I'm having this conversation with like my wife friend. This is a close friend of mine, and I'm trying to like manage like how far do I want to go into this discussion with him? Like how, like, do I want to get to a point where I'm upset about his viewpoint? Do I want to say things to him that, you know, I don't know. Like how far do I want to go? Like we don't need to ever have this discussion. Like I don't really, for us to be cool, I don't need to know how you feel about police brutality. Like it can never come up and we can be cool on other levels. But if it comes up, if you want to have a conversation, like, nah, it's just fucking weird. And now I got to choose, like, how black do I want to be right now? Do I want to be black and comfortable, or do I want to be black and uncomfortable? There's probably no such thing as black and comfortable, and I think that's what he don't understand. Is, you know, there's no homeostasis for us. But yeah, it's driving me crazy. Like this whole thing about black, it's to the point where I put a poll on one of the Facebook groups that I frequent in that, you know, the people who I think have started to get to know me. And basically I was asking, like, from your impression of me so far, which is just like my podcast and my guest appearances on your podcast or whatever interaction we had so far, like what's your impression of me? And I didn't give them great options, but I gave them options. And I think the consensus was Carlton if he had more black friends. That's what I got. I think the options were like not a hood nigga, but a nigga from the hood. That got a vote. Carlton if he had more black friends, got the majority of the votes. Then I gave him options like I wouldn't be surprised if he had a MAGA hat, or it's pretty obvious that white is his middle name, that kind of thing. And then people did ignore those, so that's cool. Now, there was for a second, I don't know if somebody, can you delete a vote on a Facebook post? But at one point, like there was a percentage in the I wouldn't be surprised if he had a MAGA hat, and then it disappeared today. So I don't know how to judge that one, but yeah, I don't know. Am I Carlton if he had more black friends? And does that, like, Carlton had that whole episode where he had to, you know, defend his blackness, and it's an ongoing issue for me. I'm not trying to make any I'm not solving the issue right now. I'm not saying this is the right or this is the wrong. I'm just like expressing what I feel like I go through. So if maybe there's someone that could possibly relate to it. But yeah, it's an ongoing issue for me. And then I think the thing that bothers me the most is that when I get in these modes of like people don't recognize me as like black or black like them, like I'm like this kind of black, or I'm Carlton or whatever, then I feel this need to do something to affirm my blackness. And it's usually something that I feel is it's stereotypical, and it's probably not a positive stereotype. Like, you know, if I want to be more black, then I start cussing more, or I use more slang, or I play Nipsey Hussle or whatever, as if I was listening to, you know, the Les Miserables soundtrack, which I also own, like that's not black. And I do want to say, especially to like white folks who hit me with the, you know, the whitest black person they know and believe that that's a compliment. What you don't understand is that, like, I wish that, like, when they're handing out the black welcome kit, that, you know, all it came with was instructions on what music to listen to, what to wear, and how to speak. And that, you know, and that was all inclusive of blackness. I wouldn't care, you know, what they forced, what that forced me, what box that forced me in. If that's all that my blackness meant to anybody is that, oh, you see a black person, you know he listens to this music, he talk like this, and he dress like this. I could probably deal with that. But being black, which is something I can't take off, can't change, comes with way more than that. So you like acting like I'm not black because of how I talk or what I listen to or, you know, what I wear or whatever like that. It doesn't. I wish that was enough to walk the streets and not have to handle the other shit that comes with being black. I wish. So, chill. I'm black, regardless. There's nothing I could do about it. And what you say is not a compliment. I love being black. I love our culture. I love everything about it. I love that my daughter's black. I want to help her understand, where she fits in the culture, when she gets of age. I worry about that, her growing up here. But, yeah, man, like I said, I haven't figured it out. And I don't know that I ever will. It's going to be, it's a part of my experience, and I just wanted to fucking talk about it for a little bit because it's been fucking with me. But it's not fucking with me on like a, I don't know who I am. I know who the fuck I am. I wonder sometimes what it is about me that makes other people view me this way, but it's cool regardless. Like people I'm cool with everybody, regardless of whether or not they see me in a certain light. They don't, it doesn't make people treat me negatively or anything like that. But most people do desire to be a part of their group, and I go through that from time to time. But it is what it is. Fuck it. I do have something special for you though, and I hate I know this episode has been long enough as it is, and I rambled a long time about blackness. But I'm gonna leave you with this, as a thank you for making it through that. I do want to debut something tonight. I want to debut the first ever episode of Elise and Daddy. Now, this is a rough cut. I had to edit it twice. You should understand if you're dealing with a 7-year-old trying to get like a 5-minute coherent conversation, it's like wrangling cats. Like it was the hardest thing ever. I fucking sat down and edited this whole thing down to like a 5-minute snippet and then closed the program without saving it and had to do it all over again. So I was blown, but we got it. And I just wanted to give y'all this before I head out of here. So I appreciate y'all. But here is a world premiere of Elise and Daddy. Go.
Hello, guys. This is the Elise Show featuring Daddy.
Hey, everybody. It's
now,
Daddy.
onto the video.
Onto the video.
Guys, here's an official notice. This is an audio video.
It's an audio video for those of you who haven't heard of that before.
So,
yeah. What's up?
first thing, we are going to do a question game.
Okay.
Okay, so, first question. What is the best thing you did in your life?
Make you. There we go. How you like that?
Bruh. Okay.
Hit me with your best shot.
Second question. What is the best shirt you made on the app that you make shirts?
What's the best shirt that I made? The Sheffield Lee shirt is nice, but I don't even think that's in the store. People don't. That's just for me and you.
Bruh.
It's just for me and you. It's a special daddy-daughter shirt. We the only two people that got one.
Bruh.
Nobody else can have a Sheffield Lee shirt. You want everybody to have a Sheffield Lee shirt? All right. Next question.
Third question.
Come on.
Okay. Third question.
Third question.
What is the best movie you watched?
My favorite movie, besides The Mitchells versus the Machines, which is a classic. If you haven't seen it, it is absolutely a classic.
Bruh.
My favorite movie, you won't know anything about this, and hopefully you don't watch this movie until a good 20 years from now. But The Sunset Limited is my favorite movie. Yeah, you have no idea. It's cool. It's all right. Don't hurt yourself.
Bruh.
This is what we're doing today. Okay.
Now, on to the fourth question.
Now we're on the fourth question. All right, I'm slow on the get up, but I'm getting there.
What is the scariest dinosaur you heard of?
The scariest dinosaur, the fake dinosaur from Jurassic Park with the whatever it is, the Papadopoulos Rex, whatever it's called. How about you tell a joke real quick? Give us a joke since you're into comedy so much right now.
What do you call a boat with wheels on it? Don't shout out if you know the answer.
I don't know. What do you call it?
A motorcycle.
Motorcycle.
What is a dog's favorite drink?
No idea.
Pupsy. What is a cat's favorite food?
No idea.
Catchip.
Catchip. All right.
It's like catnip.
But it's catchip.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, on to your questions.
My question.
Now, do you want to ask the mystery question first or last?
Let's knock it out since I wasn't prepared for this. What is the scariest movie that you've ever heard of?
Well, I've been watching The Odd Ones Out on YouTube, and he actually told me the scariest movie that he heard of. And I actually also think it is scary.
Yeah?
It's called The Dark Crystal.
The Dark Crystal?
Yes.
That's the scariest movie that you've heard of?
Yes.
All right. I mean, I'm actually proud of that. I'm proud of that
Bruh.
you seem to be living a sheltered life, if that's about as horrifying as it gets for you. Let's see. If I got some questions for you, man, what's your favorite thing to do with your dear old dad?
Eat Whataburger cinnamon rolls.
Whataburger cinnamon roll. What's so special about Whataburger cinnamon rolls? Why is that? Of all the things,
Remind you of Cinnabon.
it does remind me of Cinnabon a little bit. All right, so before
Now, I have to ask you the second question.
okay, here we go. I thought it was over.
What is the most beautiful thing you have seen?
The most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
I know that he's gonna say me.
Yeah, it was my little girl when we were bringing you home from the hospital. We had you dressed up in your first little outfit. And you were just tiny and alive. And you were very chill. Like, you were a very relaxed baby. But that's pretty much because you were still under the effects of the epidural your mother got.
Guys, pause the video.
As soon as the epidural wore off,
Guys?
all bets were off. All right, yeah, they paused. What's up? What's good?
Okay. So, guys, if you still want to listen to this, you can. But I actually think I was stubborn as a baby because, according to Chinese culture, I'm the goat.
The goat. All right.
And goats are supposed to be wild-mannered and mostly stubborn.
And mostly stubborn. You are stubborn. But you do realize you're talking to the most petty man on the planet. And that as stubborn as you are, I'm always willing to take it further than you. I just see you can do all of that. You see how I'm still talking? See how I'm still talking? You can't out stubborn me. It's not possible. I will break your little spirit if that's what you're trying to do. Recognize who you're dealing with. You have no idea. Ask about me. I'm known in these streets. Ask your mama about me. Anyway, let's wrap this up, Sweetie Petey.
Now, that's a wrap for today.
That's a wrap. We out of here.
Yep, we are here.
All right. Y'all be safe, be easy, be the light. And know this, if you know nothing else, me and Sweet Pea, Chef Elise, love you. Holla.
Mic drop. Boom.
Last call for alcohol. Yeah. If this is it, like if this is the last joint, if this is the last hurrah, it's the last call for alcohol, baby. I gotta say, whether you knew it or not, it's pretty much at the finest bar establishment, the finest spirits and libations y'all could have had, baby. You might realize it now, you might have realized it back then. You might realize it later. Love.